ChatGPT or why AI in education? So I'm live on YouTube and Instagram, and I'm doing this because every Saturday morning, except for last Saturday, because I did not feel well. I didn't even look good. I was like, I cannot go live. So I want to talk about five specific things on like some key takeaways that you can have when we're looking at artificial intelligence and what it can do for you, specifically ChatGPT. So if you're here on Instagram or YouTube, most of my people tend to be on YouTube. There are five things in education that we can really focus on in using artificial intelligence. And I have my Christmas coffee cup. I think my sister would be like, you are not, hey, everybody, you are not using Christmas already because Thanksgiving isn't here. But yeah, I did because my son's birthday is around Thanksgiving. So I tend to think of it, that's his birthday. So anyway, so recently my sister and I did a talk on generative AI at Cal State San Bernardino. And the key takeaways were really thinking about the impact of AI and the imaginable and what we can do with generative AI and where it has come. Like November of 2022 is when OpenAI came about and it hit the world by like not storm, like hurricane, whatever. It just earthquake, it just shattered the educational world. And now we're November 2024 and a lot of people don't realize that the Department of Education has a 125-page document and a summary that's like only 10 pages, so it's not too difficult, on generative AI and the impact of what we can do with generative AI and how we can really use ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, Cloud. Hey, Jen, if you have not used that one yet, that's interesting. What can we do with generative AI and how can we use it? Now, I can give you some simple things like it can save you time. It can make your life easier as an educator, a principal, even as a parent. If you're like, I don't even know how to help my child with calculus, it can help you do that. But the question is how do you prompt it and get it to do what you want it to do? Now, I've created um, a few, okay, maybe over the last 2 years, lots of videos on YouTube on using generative AI and how it can impact you as an educator and how it can help you as a principal. And one of the things that I have found, and since November of 2022, it has changed so much. Like if you take public data, like I've taken public data from Illinois, public data from the state of California, since I really focus on the state assessment in my current role and my previous role, and even as a principal, you take that data and you upload it and the impact of what it can do, creating graphs, things that used to take me I don't know, 20, 30, 40 minutes, putting it all in Excel, creating the graph, creating the line graph, manipulating it, doing all these things. I threw that public data in ChatGPT and it created manipulative graphs, line graphs. And I have found that even in the state of California, like, oh my gosh, I know what the impact is on how we can increase mathematics scores and ELA scores. And not just because it's all about the scores, but it's about getting students to really learn and master the skill so that they're ready if they want to go to college or go right into a career, or that they have this ability to have conversations and arguments about whatever topic it is. I don't mean like angry arguments for those of you that are like angry arguments. No, I mean, what can we do with using it? So I'm going to give you five things that you can do. And of course, if you're on my YouTube channel, MJBLAZY, I'm going to actually show you some things. And if you want, even if, and I should say this, on December 7th, I'm doing a 40-minute webinar and a Q&A. Complimentary. If you're on Instagram, you type in the word webinar, you should get the link. If not, you can DM me or you can go to my bio in Instagram and click on the link. It's at 7 a.m. Pacific time. Yeah, early for me, and 9 a.m. Central time. And I'm going to be showing like how you can use ChatGPT as a partner, like buddying up with ChatGPT to get it to slow down to do what you want. Because if you put in like, oh, create this professional development, it like like does this huge waterfall, and you're like, I can't, I don't even want to look at this. I don't want to read it. It's just too much. But if you can get it to slow down as a buddy, that you now can integrate and use like an article and upload it and do things like that. So the 5 things. So the first thing is, and I do have this written down because I don't want to mess this up, is it saves time with instant support. Like, yes, it can create lesson plans. It can write emails. If you aren't using ChatGPT every day for 10, 15 minutes, you're behind because it has already updated. Like, if I don't just Google anymore, if I'm logged into the Google account that I use that I've attached to ChatGPT and I type into the URL and I'm thinking I'm Googling it, no, it's now just ask ChatGPT because it now just goes straight to ChatGPT now for me. It skips over, yeah, it skips over Google. So again, if you're on, if you are live on YouTube with me, I am going to show you quite literally what would happen if I go to a URL and say, find all the information about generative AI from the Department of Education and EdTech and see what happens. And it goes, if you are watching this, it spits out Artificial Intelligence, Office of Educational Technology. It gives you the US Department of Education. It even gives me 2 side by sides. Like, and those of you that are joining me, hey, I see you. I am on YouTube as well. And I'm just giving ideas on 5 key things that you can use ChatGPT for and the updates. Like, it has literally, I don't Google anymore. It just goes right to ChatGPT. And it will even, if I say find this YouTube, it puts the YouTube video right embedded into ChatGPT. And now it gives me the sources. And if I said, put this in MLA or APA, those of you that are educators and you're writing and you want a source, it'll write it in APA format. Like, that is so profound now. So that's one, it'll make one thing, saves time and it's instant. It's like, it's quick. And there isn't an email that if I feel like it needs to be really professional and organized and doesn't need to sound antagonistic and I need it to be direct, but just informational, I'll say rewrite this so that it is fluid and it's straight to the point and kind. And it'll rewrite it. I'll grab it, throw it in. I don't have to worry. It edits it for me, things like that. And I will write my blog in Evernote, for example, and I'll have it edited. Like, those are some quick things that everybody should be doing with ChatGPT. And for those of you that are live on YouTube, this is what I am looking at. I am literally, oh my gosh, I need to see you. Okay, so so this is what it did. It gives me the latest research in 2024. It gives me what like Conmingo, things like that. And it's telling me what the Office of Education is. And I can click on the link and it takes me right there. This is what's happening. And this is that empowering educational leaders or education leaders, a toolkit for safe, ethical, and equitable AI integration. That is what is available. And you can see this. And all you have to do is Google it, but I just use ChatGPT because it's automatic for me now. And this is what's happening. You can read any one of these, and some of these are newer, designed for education for artificial intelligence, an essential guide, like things we don't know. You can download it, upload it into ChatGPT, and say, how can I create professional development around this? So that's one key thing. The other thing is it fosters creativity and collaboration. ChatGPT is my buddy. ChatGPT is my AI buddy. When I am thinking about something and I really want to have a conversation about what I'm integrating in my own professional development and I want it to be collaborative, I'm going to say, redo this so I ask the right questions. So I'm not the only one talking. There's nothing like providing professional development for teachers or teachers that are in the classroom and all we do is, excuse me, stand and deliver. If you use ChatGPT to say, formulate this in a question where I can get my students talking to each other, formulate this in a question where I can get teachers talking and collaborating, that's what ChatGPT can do for you. And again, live on YouTube, MJBLAZY, for example, and I just showed how ChatGPT can find some things and make things easier for you because I don't just Google anymore, I ask ChatGPT. So, two things: saves time, instant support, foster creativity and collaboration. It is a brainstorming buddy. When I was thinking, I'm writing a book and I couldn't quite get one of the chapter titles down. And I'm like, this is my chapter. This is the writing. I uploaded the writing and I even said, please do not publish this because it's open and delete this from your memory afterwards. I don't know if it did, but I told it to. And I said, I need a title that's no more than 3 words. It did it for me. It did it for me. So those are two things that I want you to think about. The other thing is number 3, empower decision making with insights. So it can analyze data. And for those of you that are in the state of California, if you're watching me live, this is public data. You can do this in any state. You can get your state test scores. And what I like to do is I like to look at all of the area claims. And this is what each grade level does in each one of the specific standard areas. And all I've done is I have copied this. I make a copy of it. I go to ChatGPT. I upload it. This is like profound. You can grab the photo, upload it, and say, create 3 line graphs. I'm going to show you what this is. Line graphs, putting all the above, all the, let's go back to it to make sure I have the right language, all the near and all the below, and below standard in 3 graphs. Use the colors, because look at this, like this is the colors. So use the colors for concepts and procedures, purple, problem solving and data analysis, red, and communicating and reasoning, green. So use the colors, purple, concepts and procedures. Use red for, let's make sure I have the right language, problem solving. And I'm going to say lime green for communicating and reasoning. And I am on live on YouTube as well. And what I have found is you can take public data. If you're a teacher, I don't put in personal student data. If you're able to, call it student 1, 2, 3, 4, that's different. And if your district allows that, you can, but it'll give you data on what you can do to impact the learning. But this, what I'm doing right now, and I did ask it to create 3 graphs. Create 3 graphs. Separate, please. It is what you can do and upload public information, throw a PDF in there, ask it to analyze an article for you, things like that. So now I need to say all above in one, all near in another one, and all below in another one. Which I'm actually okay with these graphs, but and I've done this a few times. Sometimes ChatGPT doesn't remember, but what I have found is that I can analyze and look at data, and this is profound. I can look at data and inform as an educational leader, as a principal, as a teacher, and I'm like, oh my gosh, my students need support in this, and it's doing it by grade level. And it is now where I can change colors. It really doesn't, not yet anyway. I can use this and it's interactive now on ChatGPT. If you're not using ChatGPT daily for at least 15 to 20 minutes, you're behind. We already are behind in education by 10 years. I mean, when Google came out or the World Wide Web in 1989, and I was a senior in high school, the World Wide Web was available, but I was using programming language like Pascal and Fortran, and that was created in the 60s and 70s. But that was what I was learning in high school. Not saying that was bad, but we're always behind. We're always behind, and we as children are using it. They already know it's available, and if we don't get in front of it, they will cheat. So we need to teach them how to use it. So again, first 3 things: saves time with instant support, Fosters creativity and collaboration, the things that it can do. It can create images for you, and empower, number three, empower decision making with insights. Number four, enhance professional development. If you, again, are on YouTube live with me, MJBLAZY, I can say, how can I create professional development? Or just say, create professional development questions on using this data to increase academic knowledge in math. What areas do we focus on? So I'm using the data that's live. I am looking at this data and saying, what can I do? And it's giving me like, it's doing what I call like this waterfall of information. It's just throwing it out like, and I don't know that I always want to do this, but it's at least giving me the focus areas. It's giving me professional development questions. It's for each area, which is amazing. And then analyzing performance across grades. Like, here are some questions. Now, it's a lot, but what you can do is you can slow down and say, I want to slow down. Let's chat. So enhance professional development, empowering decision making, and the collaboration piece. I'm getting ChatGPT to slow down. Like, okay, is there a particular area of the data that stands out to you, or would you like to explore one of those professional development questions more deeply? What stands out to me is, and I'm going to show you what stands out, is that right here, let's make this not interactive anymore, is that communicating and reasoning is the lowest in the above standard. And then here, it is the highest in the near standard. So when we're using ChatGPT, we can have a dialogue with ChatGPT, get it to slow down, have conversations with it instead of it just throwing all this information and it's too much to read. Way too much to read. You can say, slow down. Let's talk about this. Keep me in the conversation so that I can create whatever project or professional development or lesson in education so that I'm part of the conversation. So what it stands out to me is near standard in communicating and reasoning. Let's start there. And I probably would have started somewhere else, like just show everybody the graphs and let them come up with their own questions. That's, so again, 5 key takeaways. The first one is save times. It's instant. If you're not using ChatGPT daily, you're already behind. It came out in November of 2022, even if you're using Gemini, but ChatGPT OpenAI is the one that has the most users and it is the most efficient right now. And it is now attached to the web and it will give you resources. It fosters creativity. It creates images, beautiful images for my presentations now. It empowers decision making. Like I'm having trouble with these concepts. What can I do? Number 4, enhances professional development, or if you have a training, things like that, you can get it to slow down. And lastly, engage. If you are in education, or if you are training or doing anything, your students, whether they're adults or children, it can create personalized learning. Now, I'm not saying that if your district doesn't allow students to use it, I'm not saying to do that, because in education, what we say is that students still need to have permission from their parents up to age 18. But I would also say is that you can create personalized learning for specific students and you're like, they're not getting it. But this is the concept they're not getting. What am I doing? What can I do to enhance it? So you can create personalized learning for K-12. You can also do it for college. I would argue that they're already using it. So we might as well teach our educators how to use it to impact professional learning or student growth. Those are things that we can really impact what we're doing in education. So those 5 key takeaways, that getting in front of ChatGPT is huge. coming up with how can we use it as a partner. Now, if you are on Instagram and you type in the word webinar, I'm doing a complimentary webinar December 7th on ChatGPT, on using ChatGPT as a buddy, like a partner. I'm getting it to slow down, and you can ask me questions. We'll have a Q&A, and you'll get the video, only those who show up. You can type in the word webinar here, or you can go to my bio in Instagram. At the end of this YouTube video, though, what I will do is I'll put it in the description as well. So these are things that I highly recommend with generative AI. Like, I don't think that I think we're getting behind, and it's changing the world. It's impacting how we're learning. There's so many things that I've been able to do with ChatGPT. Like this, so that last question that I asked ChatGPT was, let's start here. And I would have wanted it to keep me part of the conversation, but even though it didn't, that's okay. And I would have it slow down, like patterns in data, possible barriers for students, reflection questions, things like that. But I would have wanted to create that. So I really appreciate you joining me today on those 5 key takeaways on using generative AI. Don't let it get ahead of you. Use it daily. Get into it. Let it edit what you're doing. Again, those 5 key takeaways are: saves time with instant support, fosters creativity and collaboration, empowering decision making with insights. It will help you create some decisions, and at least use it as a thought partner. Enhances professional development. You can throw in an article, upload it, and say, I want to decide if I want to use this as professional development. What can I do? And how can I use this article to support my educators, my teachers? Or, maybe it's an article that you want to use in a classroom with students. What are some questions that I can come up with to get students to talk to each other? And then engage students with personalized learning. Like, you can create personalized learning for students. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you. And please come back and hang out with me on YouTube. And yes, I will be uploading that YouTube on the mathematical practices, since I took a week off because last week